2016 town meeting for Bennington, Vermont to order. First up is the Pledge of Allegiance to be led tonight by Sharon Brush.
Thank you. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Before we head into the agenda tonight, there are a couple of announcements. First, the 13 towns in the current Solid Waste Alliance, by law, there is a survey at the back of the room in the back corner before you leave or when you come in. It's out there. It's obviously not mandatory, but it has to be on display. There is a ballot box to put those into, and they're there for your use if you care to use them. Secondly, and I think most people may already be aware of this, downstairs in the truck bays in the firehouse portion, there are representatives from the Vermont Department of Environmental Conservation, including the Commissioner of the Department of Environmental Conservation, to discuss with local people tonight the issues regarding a potential plume emanating in a portion of North Bennington near the old ChemFab plant. They're downstairs. They won't be part of this meeting, but if you would like to speak to them, they're downstairs. Stu, I believe they've been there for some time, and do we expect them to be there for a while?
About 6 o'clock, they'll probably be there till 8.
They'll be there from 6 until 8. With that, let's read the warning. The residents of the town of Bennington qualified to vote in town meeting are hereby notified and warned to meet at the Bennington Fire Facility on River Street at the Lincoln Street entrance in said town on Monday, February 29th, 2016 at 7 p.m. or immediately following the Bennington School District's annual meeting, should that run over, to transact the business specified to be done from the floor. If you are a resident of the town of Bennington, intend to be present at the meeting, and are hearing impaired, arrangements will be made for a sign interpreter to be present at this meeting. For necessary arrangements, please contact Stuart A. Hurd, Town Manager, at the Bennington Town Offices at 205 South Street or Post Office Box 469, Bennington, Vermont, 05201, or call 802-442-1037, not later than Friday, February 19th, 2016. Following the completion of such business, the meeting shall stand adjourned until Tuesday, March 1st, 2016 at the Bennington Fire Facility on River Street, again coming through the Lincoln Street entrance. The polls shall be open at 11 a.m. until 7 p.m. for the election of officers and voting on all ballot articles specified. However, those on the checklist to vote in the village of North Bennington shall vote for the election of officers and on all ballot articles at the North Bennington Village Office on Main Street in North Bennington. The Bennington Fire Facility above mentioned is hereby established as the central polling place for those on the checklist to vote in said Bennington. The deadline for registering to vote is February 24th, 2016 at 5 p.m. in the Bennington Town Clerk's office. The business to be transacted from the floor tonight, Article 1 is the town report, to hear the report of town officers and take appropriate action thereon. Article 2, select board members' compensation, to determine what compensation shall be paid to the town select board members. And finally, Article 3, other business, to transact such other proper business when met. So, beginning with Article 1, and having the town officers in front of you, is there any motion or comments from the floor on the town report? There's a motion on the floor to accept the annual report as written. Is there a second? There's a second. All those in favor of acceptance of the report, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please signify by saying no. The ayes have it. The annual report is therefore accepted. Before moving on to Article 2, are there any questions? The report is accepted for your Select Board members or other town officers in the room tonight. Must be a good report. Next, it is required that at this meeting, the townspeople set Select Board compensation for the next year. The current Select Board compensation, Tom, I believe the number in the budget for the next year is $1,400 for the year per Select Board member.
That's right, it is.
Okay.
No increase is being sought.
Okay. And nor has there been for some time. Is there a motion on the floor regarding Select Board compensation? There's a motion to accept. Is there a second? Second. Is there any discussion on the matter? Okay. All those in favor of setting Select Board compensation at $1,400 for the next year, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, please say no. The ayes have it, and therefore Select Board compensation will be fixed at $1,400 per member for the next year. The final article for tonight's meeting is other business, at which time any business deemed germane and not out of order can be discussed. However, before the first order of business under this article, I understand there is a resolution. I know Brian Campion had mentioned it to me. Brian, would you like to take the floor?
I'd also like to invite current reps as well as former rep and hookup. It's okay for
Please do.
Mary? Could we actually ask Select Board member Sharon Brush to come up and stand with us? Would that be okay? "19 years on the Select Board, folks. Senator Sears is in an undisclosed location in the Bahamas, but I think his text said it best. Please tell Sharon how much we appreciate her incredible dedication to our community. Whoever follows Sharon has big shoes to fill. On behalf of all of us, thank you, thank you, thank you." I'm going to ask Representative Morrissey and others to help me read this resolution that will go on for just a little bit. But 19 years as a public servant is well worth a little bit of weight. So if everyone would please just give us your full attention. So the following Senate concurrent resolution by Senator Sears and Campion, Representatives Corcoran, Fields, Morris, and Morrissey of Bennington. Senate concurrent resolution honoring Sharon Brush for her outstanding public service in the town of Bennington. Whereas Sharon Brush has resided in the town of Bennington for 4 decades and for many years has served in both appointed and elected positions in municipal government. And whereas her public service career began when she assumed the role of public health officer, in which she was responsible for monitoring any health-related emergencies.
Whereas her next town assignment was serving on the Bennington Zoning Board, where she remained for approximately a decade, including service as its chair. And whereas in 1997, with these important experiences in her background, Sharon Brush sought a new challenge when she stood successfully for election to the Bennington Select Board.
Whereas the voters approved of her job performance as she had served on the Select Board without interruption for the past 19 years, and whereas Sharon Brush's colleagues respected her proven leadership skills and selected her to serve as their chair, and
We're getting there.
Whereas during her long tenure, Sharon Brush and her compatriots on the select board have confronted contentious issues, including the zoning classification at Johnson Control Site, the extent of the lighting at the Bennington Battle Monument, and the state construction of Vermont Route 279 connectors. And whereas having retired from the banking industry, Sharon Brush has decided it's time to conclude her years on the select board, but she will remain a trustee of Applegate Housing and Green Mountain Community Network and the manager of the local bus system. And you want to wrap it up?
Wrap it up, Ann.
Oh, okay. Whereas Sharon Brush exemplifies the civic leader who has worked hard to make her local government and non-profits responsive to the needs of the community. Now therefore, be it resolved by the Senate and House of Representatives that the General Assembly honors Sharon Brush for her outstanding public service in the town of Bennington, and be it further resolved that the Secretary of State be directed to send a copy of this resolution to Sharon Brush. Congratulations.
They tell me I have to give a speech, so I just want to thank everyone that has supported me for the last 35 years in public service here in Bennington. All of you that had voted for me, and that I know I have your support. For fellow select board members, past and present, and most of all to my family, who supported me through this, through thick and thin, and watched me go to meetings and suffer and whatever. So, but I love them all, and thank you so much. I appreciate it.
I understand there is a second resolution to be read.
If Jan Martin Bob would come up, please. We acknowledge tonight all types of cancers, but we have Jan, who is a survivor and also who is an amazing advocate for the multiple myeloma. And so for the third year in a row, the governor of the state of Vermont has had a proclamation written to acknowledge the multiple myeloma as the awareness month in March. So whereas multiple myeloma, the second most common blood cancer worldwide, is a cancer of plasma cells in the bone marrow. It is called multiple because cancer can occur at multiple sites in the body. And whereas multiple myeloma currently affects more than 83,000 people in the United States, with an estimated 24,000 new cases diagnosed each year, and 11 losing their battle each year. And whereas because myeloma is a rare disease, there can be a delayed diagnosis leading to delayed treatment. For this reason, an increased awareness of myeloma for clinicians and the general public will lead to an earlier diagnosis, allowing people to live longer. And whereas although we have seen important advances in the last decade, there is still no cure for myeloma. And whereas Vermont is committed to finding a cure for myeloma and supports the treatment of its citizens who suffer from myeloma and encourages private efforts to enhance research funding and education programs. Now therefore be it resolved, I, Peter Shumlin, Governor, do hereby proclaim March 2016 as Multiple Myeloma Awareness Month, and I present this to Jan. Would you like to say anything?
Thank you very much. I'm just a face of myeloma. I would strongly encourage you, urge you to get your blood tested. The next time you do, request that the protein panel be included, because early detection leads to early treatment, shorter treatment, less severe side effects. Thank you very much.
Staying in Article 3 and keeping in mind that no binding resolutions can be taken or no binding action can be taken under this section of tonight's agenda, is there anybody who seeks the floor? And of course, all speakers need to identify themselves before they begin to speak.
Absolutely. Thank you. My name is Bruce Lee Clark, and I'm speaking on behalf of the folks who run the Bennington Free Clinic and asking the voters of Bennington to vote yes on Article 7. Just to let you know that over the last year, Bennington Free Clinic continues to see new patients. We saw 187 new patients last year. In addition, because we are also working with the state, we have assisted 247 people from Bennington with obtaining health insurance through Vermont Health Connect. And so we believe that there will come a time, hopefully, when the free clinic does not have to be here, and we will not be here asking for taxpayer money, but that time is not yet. And so on behalf of the volunteer physicians and the nurses and the folks who volunteer with the patients, we're asking for your small support of $7,500. Vote yes on Article 7. And Jason, I know it was just a mistake in speaking, but I think you said that the polls would be open from 7 until 11, or from 11 to 7.
Should
and
be
it's
7
from
to
7
7.
to 7.
Did I say that?
And I'll beat Cassandra to that little announcement.
I appreciate the thought of letting me sleep in, Jason.
Cassie, make sure the donuts and coffee are in North Bennington by 7. That's, so. Thank you, Bruce, for both announcements. Is there anybody else who seeks to be recognized?
Yes, my name is Mary Ann St. John, and I'm here on behalf of Brock Community Action in Southwestern Vermont, which is Article 8. We'd like to thank the voters for past support for Brock Community Action and ask that folks vote us in again this year. In the past year, we've served 2,154 individuals with needs such as food, housing, heating, and utility assistance. 78 homeless families were assisted in finding secure housing at Brock in the past year. 16 homes in Bennington, consisting of 33 individuals, were weatherized, free weatherization reducing their energy costs. 230 children received nutritious meals and snacks at area home child cares. 11 residents received technical assistance through our microbusiness development program and helped them to start a small business in this area. In addition, I'd like to note that although fuel assistance was somewhat lower than what we would expect this year, because prices, of course, have really gone down and the weather has been mild, we've seen a lot of people coming in for fuel assistance, but also an increase in number of people coming in for electric assistance, which we also do. And with the recent cold snap of several days over a long weekend, there were a lot of people who struggled with furnace repairs and replacements, and we helped with those as well. Currently, we're doing assistance with tax preparation, and we also have a certified navigator for Vermont Health Connect. So there are many services that we offer at Brock. We hope to continue providing those to Bennington and the surrounding areas, and we ask for the support on Article 8 in the amount of $7,500. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there any response to Ms. St. John before we move on to anybody else that wants to be recognized? If anybody would like to be recognized, please signify by raising their hand. And actually, the first one up was all the way back under the clock.
Hello, good evening. My name is Jennifer Plouffe. I am the Bennington Case Manager Supervisor and Manager for Southwestern Vermont Council on Aging. I'm here to ask for your support for Article 9. In 2015, the council helped provide over 22,372 meals that were delivered to the homes of about 136 elders in our community. It's also known as Meals on Wheels. In addition, 276 Bennington elders came together at luncheon sites in our area to enjoy nutritious meals and the company of others. 6,285 meals were provided. Southwestern Vermont Council on Aging case management staff helped a little over 419 elders in our community with case management services and leveraging supports in the community. We also have our state health insurance program, SHIP, who helps countless people during open enrollment connect with health insurance. And we also have legal assistance, nutrition education services, outreach services to elders dealing with mental health issues with our elder care clinician in partnership with UCS. And we also help provide transportation assistance and caregiver support and respite services. So we ask that we maintain the $7,500 in funding, and we ask for your support for Article 9. Thank you.
Thank you. Before we move off of that topic, is there any further response to that topic? Is there anybody else who seeks to be recognized? Genevieve.
Hello, I'm Genevieve Plunkett.
And I'm Mickey McGlasson.
Kate Trafton.
And I'm Peter Lawrence. We're all board members.
Hi. I'm here to encourage the voters of Bennington to approve a $10,000 increase to support the work that Sunrise Family Resource Center does and has been doing for 46 years in our town. If you're not familiar with Sunrise, I would like to talk briefly about the program's mission, beginning with the word resource. So as kids, we might have found it as a in our vocabulary tests. It meant something that you didn't want to run out of. Maybe for some it meant you died on the Oregon Trail, or maybe your family couldn't go to Disney World that year. I could have told you that having resources meant having money, or whatever cushion you had in between yourself and the elements. And all that is true, but the kind of resources that I want to talk about go beyond that, because some of the most important resources come in the form of connections, other people, the right people. Sunrise Family Resource Center aims to meet the needs of the community by connecting families to the right people, people who can help you find a job, childcare, a specialist. I may know what an empty bank account looks like, but I have never truly been without resources. People or organizations that I can count on to be accessible, welcoming, to point me in the right direction when I have a need, no matter how serious. Sometimes knowing that help is just around the corner is all that's necessary to get through a hard time, but a lot of families in our community don't have that luxury. And I'm gonna let Mickey continue.
Lots of people know Sunrise for its child care center, which is an invaluable resource to the many Bennington parents who use it. But we hope to also be known to Benningtonians for the myriad other services that Sunrise's hardworking staff provides to residents of our community. The Sunrise staff connect families with the community. They provide educational experiences. They support job seekers in developing job skills and finding employment. They help local youth transition out of foster care. They build relationships that promote independence and resilience, and they do so much more. Please help our staff continue to provide these programs to the over 800 families in Bennington County that we serve each year by voting yes to the Sunrise measure on tomorrow's ballot. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anybody else who would like to speak on the Sunrise appropriation? Are there any other people who would like to be recognized from the floor? Please come forward.
Oh, excuse me. Hi, my name is Kathy Aliberti, and I'm the Green Mountain RSVP Volunteer Coordinator. First off, thanks to the many or several volunteers I see here tonight that are active RSVP volunteers. In Bennington, We have 71 active volunteers in the town, serving over 8,000 hours. We have 26 active nonprofit organizations that we currently recruit for, place volunteers in. In Bennington, we have 4 bone builder classes serving over 50 folks. We're also currently doing the tax aid program, and last year, 2015, we did 572 tax returns. We currently also staff blood drives, and last year we saw a donation of 584 units, which is 84 people donating. We also offer food pantry support, transportation for meal deliveries, and folks to get to medical appointments. We offer companionship, mentoring programs. Last year we also organized a nonprofit recruitment fair, which was exciting in that we were able to bring in new volunteers, but also it provided a great opportunity for nonprofits to network with each other. We've done Stuff the Bus this year, where we helped 8 pantries, and we look for your support in Article 6 for the level funding. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anybody that would like to continue to speak on that topic before we move on? Is there anybody else who seeks recognition from the floor, for the floor? If there's no other business to conduct from the floor, I will entertain a motion to adjourn. Motion to adjourn is on the floor. There's a second over here. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? This meeting shall stand adjourned until 7 a.m. tomorrow morning, March 1st, 2016, at which time polling stations shall open, those being the Bennington Firehouse here on Lincoln Street and the North Bennington Village office at the railroad station in North Bennington.